So let's start off with the first one. Georgia and Clemson face off week 1. That game's at 11 a.m. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I said this in the open. Look, Dabo Swinney, this didn't get enough pub, by the way. We should have talked about this. Dabo Swinney didn't go in the portal.
Well, let's talk about the next episode.
We gave him shit for not doing an effective job of using the portal to his advantage. And we said he's got to use it this offseason. And it looked like he might be expressing interest in some guys, and he still didn't do it. I understand that the recruiting hasn't necessarily been cratering and it's not horrible. They still recruit well. But man, this roster, I don't know who they're throwing to. And I'm sure in the comments, the Clemson fans are going to be saying, oh, we got so-and-so, and we got so-and-so, we got this guy, we got this. He was a 4-star. Man, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I've watched plenty of seasons where I thought that we had receivers and we couldn't move the goddamn ball.
It's the first time that you've ever been truthful on this show.
Look, Clemson needs to look in the mirror, and you need to know what the expectation is for next year. And there shouldn't be a goddamn expectation that you're going to show up versus Georgia in Atlanta and not lose by 15, 20 plus points. If that game that Georgia played against Oregon, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was
that's going to look like
3.
That's going to look like a kid's birthday party when compared to this game.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you right now.
All right, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not going to say that Clemson's going to lose by 40 plus, okay, which is what you're
No. I didn't just say that.
You literally just said that the game that Georgia beat Oregon by 40, that they're going to make Clemson look like child's play.
Oh, that was by over 40 points.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a little bit closer. It's still going to be a bad loss.
I don't necessarily disagree. I don't know, Joe, how much of an indication it is on Clemson. As much as it is, I think that everybody and their mama is preparing that Georgia's about to start spanking the shit out of teams. I've heard, Joe. I think they're about to start really routing some teams, and I think that team is pissed off. I think they're pissed off that they didn't get in the playoff last year. I mean, copy paste from what you said all those times about Nick Saban with Kirby Smart, and that's where you need to go. So, yes, is it an indication on? Yeah, it's an indication on Clemson, and I don't think that you can throw that out with the water. But don't mistake what they're doing because they know what they're doing, right? Like this isn't. And look, Georgia is, Atlanta. It's on the East Coast or on the Eastern time board, so it's gonna be 12 noon there. You're in a stadium. I get what you're saying, but it's not necessarily or relatively something new that Georgia is faced with here.
Well, if anything, it's something that they're used to, which is playing neutral site in Atlanta, which is basically a home game for you
at around 12 or 2 p.m.
I can't believe Clemson agreed to this. That's the crazy part.
They didn't agree to it. They don't agree to these times.
No. I'm talking about like to who scheduled.
Well, it was a home and home, and they scheduled the home and home after they won a national title. They did the same thing with LSU. They added Georgia and LSU and home to home. So they play LSU. I think next year in Baton Rouge. It's like the real who's the real Death Valley. Mm-hmm. So I mean, in fairness, they're just completing this home and home. So look, we'll see, man. Look, we'll see. God, I hate this for Dabo because I do think that they're recruiting well. They're just not going in the portal, which is killing them.
Yeah, it is. And like to be a less aggressive take, Clemson fans, this is really not how you want to start a season. Like you're trying to get your feet underneath you. Last year, you came out flat against Duke. Against Duke, you came out flat and you made a bunch of silly mistakes. You can't.
Didn't they go like 0-5 in the red zone? Like they moved the ball in between the 20s and just couldn't ever score.
They had a ton of turnovers, just a bunch of stupid mistakes.
Right.
You can't make a tenth of the amount of mistakes that you did against Duke
You
last
can't make
year.
one of those mistakes versus Georgia. You're going to get your ass beat.
That's exactly my point.
Right. Like you got to play damn near perfect.
God, it is a daunting task against the Georgia team that got better over the offseason.
Right. Oh, by the way, are you hearing this shit about Carson Beck might just be Georgia good?
Who said that?
Nick Wright.
Oh, I saw that. I pay zero mind to any national media host.
Football content. You know that I look at.
It's in one year out the other, man. You can't let that stuff.
I know.
The games. They don't watch the goddamn games.
And he needs to shave his head. I mean, I feel like I'm looking at a mop. I'm honestly feel like I'm looking at if a man straightened his pube hairs, that's what Nick Wright's hair looks like. I'm just being God honest.
Jesus
all right.
Christ. BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.